recording. Now I'll share screen and this. Okay, students, before I start your lecture, I'll be sharing a short presentation on road safety. As you know, this whole week we've been having activities relating to road safety. And as you people are there coming on the roads, you're getting your vehicles. So it is very, very important that you should follow the rules related to road safety. What are the basic things that you should remember when you are on the road? Yes, stopping at the traffic lights, right? Make sure that you behave responsibly on the road. Over speeding, be careful at the speed breakers, right? And of course, you should have your license with you and all the other necessary documents. Wear a helmet while driving and avoid carrying along too many friends of yours with you when you go on the roads, right? Because you are not only putting your life at risk, you're putting others' life also at risk, right? So avoid taking all these abrupt U-turns also when you see a traffic police person on the road. So immediately change your direction. You get scared and the person is waiting for you. So if you have not done anything wrong, there is nothing for you to be afraid of, right? So if you are there following all the rules, if you are following all the traffic rules, it's not only for your safety, but it is for the safety of everyone. And as we have noted that the youngsters who speed too much on the roads, they are the ones who create a lot of problems. So you should be responsible. Yes, so the online students here, let me see here that how it is road safety. That is, how can we make road safety? Naturally, the number of accidents in lives are lost because of accidents. How can we save that? A simple rule, make it in your life. Please start a little early so that you don't increase your speed, you don't go over speeding. It is going to save lives, right? And we have had a lot of road safety awareness in our school. You had activities related to that. We're having speeches related to that. We also had a quiz related to road safety. Okay. Next is, do you know how many accidents occur on the road? How many accidents there because of carelessness? Many lives are lost. Any kind of weather you talk about, whether it is rainy weather, whether it is foggy weather, we have there because of carelessness, because of lack of visibility. People, they are not aware of the direction, or because people don't maintain that proper distance. So it is not only this, we have, certain responsible behavior. One is, we think that if we are on the road, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to just keep on blowing the horn all the time. That is also very wrong, right? We should not just continuously and unnecessary, blow the horns. Secondly, avoid wearing your headphones and using your mobile while driving. I don't know how you people are able to do this balancing act. It's very dangerous, and it is not something of a big achievement. I've seen children here, they'll have one, like what, the mobile fixed over here, and with the other, they'll be balancing their two-wheeler. And how you're managing all this circus on the road is a big, of course it is. You're doing a balancing act, isn't it? Right? And then you put the, Aryaman, enough. And you have your headphones on, so it cuts out all the noise also, right? We have them for our convenience. Use them in the comfort of your home, right? So you should hear the other vehicles also. If there's someone there blowing a horn behind you, someone telling you that there is a danger ahead or something, you won't be able to hear that. You're putting your life at risk. So please, driving is an important responsibility. You people are new learners on the road. And make sure that you are appropriate height also when you take your two-wheelers, right? Some of you just hanging there, and even your feet not touching the ground, even then they want to, right? Otherwise, other places also we see, like, yeah, even while driving a car also, people, barely reaching that, above the steering wheel. You can't even see the full head, but even then they'll be managing, taking the car, right? So we have to be what? And many times it's happened even outside, our school also. We have many of you standing in groups, and then we think, okay, let's all go together. You don't want to leave your friends behind, ek ke baad ek ke baad ek, and you all are piled up on one bike. Poor bike, right? It's, see, you are taking these things so lightly. Your life is at risk. You are putting others' life also at risk. Why do you want to go on such an adventure? Your life will be much happier if your friends are going to enjoy more happier moments with you. Don't put your life at risk, and don't put others' life at risk. And even in the marketplace also, we see that people, they don't want to stop anywhere. They don't look left or right wherever they're turning, and very haphazardly they just drive. Let us make it a habit here. If you people just start with the habit here of following these basic safety rules, it's going to make your life much easier. And remember, your parents, are they constantly worried when they give you a vehicle? Right? It's not that they doubt you, they doubt other people also who are on the road. They are as careless as you. If you are taking it lightly, just think others also behaving in this way. So you are there responsible for a big decision that you have taken. You're coming on your two-wheelers nowadays. Many of you are. So you have to be very, very responsible, okay? And see that how, when you see the statistics, that how many people die every day because of road accidents, right? So, and vehicles also, they need to be taken care of regularly. Yes, so these are here. You have these, how these problems, they can be overcome. We have a regulation of motor vehicles. The Road Safety and Traffic Management Authority has to be in place. So all these are there. We are aware of all the problems here, and this is why it is very important here to take care of road safety. So yes, what can I do? I think so this is the most important thing that we can take. If anyone of you can take a screenshot of this, and we'll just share it in the group. Drive responsibly. First, foremost, always wear a seat belt. If you're in a car, give way to pedestrians on the pedestrian crossing. No way, we are on a two-wheeler. I'm driving a car. Who is this lowly person walking on the road? We don't, even if people are there on the road, we don't even care for them, because we can't slow down. This is very inhuman, I would say. Follow traffic signals. Traffic signals, yeah, it's like we have a race against time, isn't it? Oh my God, it's still yellow. Let's manage. Wheel is skid past, right? And halfway in the middle of the road, of course, so we are stuck neither here nor there. And of course, the policeman standing in front. A big problem. Yeah. What? And just see, it's not a joking matter. It happens every day when we are traveling. We are there, like, of course, driving also. We see these things happening, and that is why we talk about them in such a casual manner. But you just skip one red light, it is such a big problem, such a big issue it is to create. So follow at a safe distance, especially when it is like you are near the lights also, where there is low visibility also. These are the things that you have to maintain a proper distance. So if one applies a brake, then it is going to be a chain reaction, everyone happening all together, right? So use the mobile phone responsibility. I wish we all could use the mobile phone responsibility. Sorry, it is just one call you get on your phone, and it causes a lot of distraction. The person who is there at the wheel has a lot of responsibility. So make sure that these things are not a part of your life. Okay, so these are little things here. It is for your benefit, it's for your safety. that these rules are there. Let's follow them and let's make them a part of our life. Okay, right. So let me see who all are there in the waiting room. Let's enter them all. Who all are here? Okay. Next test is your which one? Footprints without feet. And let's start off with the proposal I will be doing. I'll do it with you all. Don't worry. I will. Let me finish these 2-3 days are there. And Monday we will do that. Monday next last test will be over. Then we have 3 more days. I'll do proposal Ram se. You will come. You will. You have other tests also to give. You will give those tests. Right? I'll do the reading of that chapter if this is what you want. Did you try reading it? Then, no, I thought you have other ways. What? Big achievement. I saw what you did the other day, isn't it? What is your performance? And I know that. Okay, fine. Let's start with the chapter Making of a Scientist. This is also one chapter where you have a little bit of a problem. Okay, right here. Who is this chapter about? It's a scientist or this young boy. Ebright. Okay. As what about Ebright's childhood? He was a lonely child. He was alone, right? And he lost his father at a young age, and they shifted to this new place where he did not have many friends. And now to keep him busy, his mother made him, participate in so many hobbies, right? And so many activities. She would keep him busy. And like the daytime, she would be working and he would be at school. But in the evening, then she would be helping him with all these things, like that he started participating in or he started doing. Then he, of course, he read a lot of books also, right? And there is one book in particular that really caught his interest. Which book was that? Yes, the Travels of Monarch, the X, isn't it right? So that book was there. He read that book. He did have that interest in science, and he did make a project. He participated because naturally he was an all-rounder. He participated in the science exhibition, but sadly the exhibit that he showed, it was not considered to be a science activity. He was not disappointed. And it was, maybe this was a turning point in his life, that he really started off trying to understand what science is really about. So when he went through this book, which really changed his life, The Travels of Monarch X, and there was this questionnaire which he answered, and then he asked the person, Ukwat, it was Dr. Ukwat, he asked him a list of 4 projects, and he gave me a lot of lists, a list of projects which he could make. And he started his work on the butterfly. Yes. Which butterfly did he start working on? He started working on the monarch butterfly. What was, there was another butterfly. Yes, the viceroy. Okay. And he really did make a lot of effort. He, first of all, he started with tagging these butterflies, right? And like how far they went, but he was very disappointed with that because he did not get a very favorable response. He did not get those tags back, many, right? Then what did he start? He really made a lot of studies about these 2 butterflies in particular, and he realized that which one was, we can say, more tastier for the birds. the viceroy butterfly. It was more tastier for the birds, and most of the birds, they stayed away from the monarch butterfly. And to save themselves from becoming the food of the birds, the viceroy butterfly copied the monarch butterfly. Now he started wondering that how did this happen? How is it that the viceroy butterfly copying the pattern of the, because what was visible to the bird, it was it could be the color of the wings or the pattern that was there. So there must be something in the monarch butterfly that made it unpleasant for the birds to eat. And there was this inherent ability, you know, that these butterflies had, that they could copy this one, right? So that studies went on. What did he found? There were these spots which he found on the, yes, which were responsible for that, your what, the hormones which were there. And gradually it was, you know, like the ultimate realization or the ultimate conclusion was that he led on to the discovery of what? The cell theory, right? And it was found that how we have that the DNA and the RNA is responsible for all these changes, right? So all this, it, from his curiosity or from collecting things, so whether it was collecting butterflies or coins or stamps, he went on towards his intense studies about the butterfly. His exhibit, first of all, it was like about the frog slides and all which he had put, it did not get him a prize. He was not disappointed because it gave him a realization that this is not what true science is about. So he studied the monarch butterfly, and in fact his whole basement was converted into a kind of a laboratory where it was in different stages of development. And then he found that yes, the spots that were there on the, which stage of development? Pupa, right? So that was where all these changes happen. It was responsible for all the particular spots and, right? And it is, yes, that how each one of us is different, or how the monarch is different from the viceroy. So the color there, the pattern there, the spots there, slight differences, but that difference is there, which the birds are able to also sense, right? And the butterfly, the viceroy copying the monarch. And yes, so at a very young age, he was able to make this revolutionary discovery. And his work, of course, it made him successful as a scientist, right? So there are the details which are given here, which are not actually so, I would say, very scientific, which you will have to just go through yourself, right? Then we know about the personal life of Ebright as a person. We know him as a scientist. What are the qualities which are required? And Ebright was there qualifying as a good scientist. Yes, he was hardworking. He was determined. He never gave up hope, and he had this desire to learn, right? Which was his curiosity there to learn about these changes which is happening among the butterflies. So he wanted, you know, to learn all that, and it's his curiosity which led on to all these developments and to lead this the theory of the cells, right? The cell theory, which he was able to discover, right? So he did have all the basic qualities which are required for a scientist: curiosity, determination, hard work, not giving up, being consistent. Because as scientists, yes, you are going to pick up many projects, you are going to find out your observations, you are going to make conclusions, and if you're not happy with the results, you're going to start again, right? And this can happen many times until you get the desired result. So yes, so Ebright was there, very, very hardworking, and with the help of his colleagues, and he got chances to work at very advanced laboratories also, right? So when others were not getting the chance because of his curiosity, because of his dedication. So he was getting this opportunity to work at other places or at the research laboratories which were very well equipped, right? as a human being or as apart from a scientist, what other things were there which he liked to do? He was a good speaker, very good. He was a good speaker. He was also into outdoor activities, also into sports, also outdoor activities. So he was not that we can say all work and no play, but he was a balanced personality. So he's focusing on not only on the studies, but also on other activities, which gave him an all-round personality, right? What about the role of his mother? Did she think that her, you can say, dedication and devotion towards him in the younger years would result in developing this scientific curiosity in this child? Was she aware? Was she aware? Why she started doing all these things to keep him occupied? Because he was new to that place, he did not have many friends, and a big tragedy. He lost his father at a young age, a lot of loneliness in his life. So she wanted him to, stay busy. So she started all these activities, and later on, when he started off working on the butterflies, and he started tagging them, and then later on working on the differences between the viceroy and the monarch, and following on with a lot of research about the spots there, and extracting that hormone which was responsible for that change, right? And even the structure of that hormone, right? All these things which he did. So it is just, you can say, the right environment was provided for him, the right opportunities were given to him, the right resources were given there, which later on helped him in developing that curiosity. And sometimes, even at home also, out of curiosity, like if you remember when you were kids, I don't know how many of you did that, maybe boys and girls also, you got a toy car, and after a couple of hours, the first thing would be to dismantle it. Yes, and then trying to put it back together again. Yes, we've all done that at some stage or the other. Yes, and that is a step, like you're wondering that how does this work, or you're wondering that where does the sound keep on coming from. So earlier, I don't know about there, like earlier these toys were there, these songs would come from them, and the car would move, and that music would also. So that curiosity there. So right from a young age, that curiosity is there in all of us. But how far we carry on, investigation, or how far we carry on to satisfy our curiosity, right? Nowadays, we don't have students, having that scientific bent of mind. We have that lack of curiosity. We have very few students going in for higher studies and research. Why do you think this has happened? Is it because we already have too much of information at hand, that the curiosity is no longer there? Yes? Lack of interest? So even if you're working towards artificial intelligence, do you think, like nowadays, when we do talk about the applications of technology, it's not, I'm talking about only maybe discovering about cell division or things like that. Other thing, everything requires a lot of hard work, right? So even if we are having these multinational companies which are devoted to technology, they're also, what do you think, all these developments that take place? So even the gadgets which are there, with us, or the appliances that we have in our homes, and after a couple of years, you see a better version is there. A lot of changes there, which is much comfortable and convenient than the previous one. So that is what? It does not happen just by looking at it, let's change this button and let's change that. So there goes a lot of research, there goes a lot of hard work, right? And it requires, that dedication. It does require a commitment, which you have to make a lot of sacrifices also, right? So what did you think the scientists here, like where as they pursue their careers or their curiosity, right? So when I say scientists, I'm not talking only about physics and chemistry and bio. I'm talking about the researchers, right? So what sacrifices do you think they have to make? time, lots of time is there. You have to sacrifice even being with your family also, right? You have to sacrifice many comforts. And do you think a scientist's life is very glamorous? No, it's not glamorous. They are there in their overcoats and working in the lab, and it seems as if they keep on doing or putting one drop of chemical here and there, isn't it? Right? So we don't think of it. And nowadays, you think children are more attracted towards something that is glamorous? Is it? Yes? You want to say something? Yes, anyone here? So we have there, like, yeah, maybe we want glamorous careers and we want somewhere we are outside of the labs or outside the workspace where we can do all these. But otherwise, also, like you talk about artificial intelligence, how it is there now upon important part of our lives. So it has taken a lot of research. A couple of years ago or a decade ago, if we could have discussed this kind of teaching, it would have been that, okay, it's not possible. Everybody is not going to do this. But yeah, we have that the applications of technology has definitely made our life easier. What about scientists here? When you talk about ISRO, we talk about our space missions also. And we've read that how much time they have devoted, right? And many times, even after putting so many hours of hard work, it takes, it could be that it's not accomplished. So how much of disappointment? So whether it is for defense also, yes, the DRDO. And so whether it's like talking about more, you can say, technologically advanced, the missiles there or the communication system there, right? All these things, it does require a lot of brilliant minds. So that is the beauty of our brain. It is very curious. The more we put it into use, the more it is going to find better things for us, isn't it? So it is there. We have to put our brain to use, not only to devising ways of copying and pasting, more than that, right? Yes, fine. Yeah, like this is about this. I'm just discussing it very, very briefly. Because we have discussed it in detail already. I think so once or twice we have discussed it there. Right? So let's, which chapter do you like the most from Footprints Without Feet? You like Footprints Without Feet? Yes. How does Griffin leave footprints even without feet? Muddy feet? Anyone, do you remember the story? No. Yes? See, that is also there. Look at him. He's also into research. We have one scientist like Ebright, who's making a lot of efforts, who's making a lot of studies. On the other hand, we have a scientist like Griffin, isn't it? Who is there? Yes, boys? If you keep quiet, I think so it would be a big benefit to the class. No, we have groups now. Okay. Okay, silence now. Yes, Griffin as a scientist, generally we believe that scientists are they're very dedicated, very committed. Griffin made one mistake in his life. What do you think? He could have been a very reputed, a very respectable scientist. What was the mistake that Griffin did? The feeling of misusing his powers, right? how could he have used this in a better way? How can we use invisibility in a good way? How can we use invisibility in a good way? Defense, yeah, for spying purposes, right? Yes, Kritagya? Perform miracles? Like Lencho? Find him the 30 pesos remaining ones? And that's a miracle, is it? So we can use that. See, the thing is, do you think invisibility can be something, a possibility in the future? Many things are there which, are invisible. Like when you talk about underwater life, you talk about marine life. Many of, things in their stages which you talk about, your larvae and all that. So they are invisible, right? So they are there. So it is quite possible. So many of the organisms are there which are existing in that kind of, they have a kind of an invisible form at some stage of their life, right? So what if we never believed that, boys, please behave now, that video calling would be there as an option, right? We never believed that here from the comfort of our homes, we could have attended one session. It was something which seemed like a part of our imagination. So there are things which really, interest the human mind. So whether it is about invisibility, whether it's about space travel, yeah, or time travel, that is something which has really attracted humans for a long time, right? So these, if do you think with the proper research, or maybe it is a possibility? Is it? No? We still have one more period. You're not going anywhere. Let me stop the recording first.